Let's take a look at ETH real quick on the short-term time frames and why $600 ETH is like under $1,000 ETH is inevitable, but 600 is actually a pretty damn good target for it. I would say it would probably take till 2023 for that to happen. If it happens, I would more favor 850, but 600 would be an awesome point to pick up Ethereum. I would make a strong bet that just under $1,000 Ethereum will be hit within 12 months. All right, so let's take a look at Ethereum. Yeah, I like that shout out of Ethereum to 600. All right, I'm gonna go to the daily chart's big enough for Ethereum, not for Bitcoin, but okay. That's a macro range. Origin lines. Here we go. All right. Each of these lines is an origin line. The ones that are highlighted or bolder are the more important ones. Okay, for obvious reasons, they get the biggest amount of price action. So Ethereum lived its entire life from 2021 to 2022, a whole year between these two lines, bounced around them. That's why they're important, and it was the resistance of this, essentially the support for this. This line down here got these bottom areas. So it is because this height only got to that line. Let me make it like this. It only got to that line instead of this line. See that? Last height got up to this line. This height only got to that line. Therefore, you would think logically, because it only went up to a lower line, when it pulls back in a macro pullback like a bear market, it won't be able to hold that line because it didn't go up as high. Therefore, as it falls, if it falls, maybe not on a percentage basis quite as much, but even if it falls less on a percentage basis, it's going below that line because that's the line it hit after it hit this line way up here. And this time it only hit that line. So it's probably going under and hitting here, and that's $600. See that? So yeah, $600 Ethereum is probably a damn good target. I'm guessing that next line, so let me zoom in. I'm actually guessing this line here, so around 850, actually if it takes a little while to get there, yeah, about 800, 850 is my favorite guess, or just a wick under 1,000. But yeah, 600 is definitely possible, especially if Bitcoin hits 12K in this bear market, with a nasty longer recession in which Bitcoin cannot separate from traditional markets. Absolutely. And then short-term time frame for Ethereum. So that's bear market targets, which I've already covered. But so do I have? Yeah, I have on the 1 hour 200 EMA. Let's look at the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin? So this is the 1 hour 200 EMA. See that? This flashing. Okay, flashing my boobs again, or flashing my EMAs. Bitcoin's above that line. Ethereum's below it. So from an EMA standpoint and a structural standpoint, Bitcoin is in a lot better position than Ethereum. A lot better. Yeah, so this means Bitcoin dominance should be going up. Let's go to BTC.D. Yep, Bitcoin, yeah, it's really trying to be bullish here. So let's go back to Ethereum. Honestly, this looks like a potentially pretty good short area, 1886. For a pump up, and that would hit this horizontal here. Again, this is not a call to action. Rather, let me rephrase that. Not a good short area, but rather a good area for things, a good resistance area right there. And let's make this not as obnoxious. There we go. And that would probably be like a 8% move up, something like that. Nope, that's only 2.5. Yeah, I could go a little bit above it. So in the short term, assuming Bitcoin wants to keep marching up, if Bitcoin hits 31,200, I think Ethereum will be close to 1890. And that would be a wick above the 1 hour 200 EMA. And then Bitcoin, although is above it. See, that already used it as support. This is the same orange line. So Ethereum is really bleeding versus Bitcoin, which is obvious during a bear market, assuming this is your second bear market. If it's your first bear market, it's not obvious unless you trust me, but the next the next bear market, it will be obvious to you, and none of your friends will believe you how low coins will go. They'll all lose 95% of their value again, and people will think you're an idiot when you're trying to explain it to them. And you'll join the club that I'm in right now. People thinking you're stupid until they realize, oh shit, it happened. So that's what I got for Ethereum very short term. I'm seeing a pop up to 1890. Pretty quickly, because it's essentially an average. So price loves to go back to averages. Whether price goes below the average or above the average, it loves to come back to it, period. So it went way below it. That's where it's probably going. 1890 for your next more immediate target. Of course, if traditional markets and Bitcoin turn around, this could turn around as well. But that would be my next upper target for Ethereum in the short term. I don't really see too much risk to the downside. As long as it can stay above 1825, I think it's going to hit 1890. So if not below 1825, then 1890 is the target. If it goes below 1825, then you can start Xing that out as a target and then focus more on downside targets. So that would be my validation and validation line right here is 1825. That target is valid, assuming price is over it, and the invalidation of that 1890 target happens when a 1 hour candle closes below 1825. And that is your Ethereum bear market targets and short-term price action. Rock and roll.